Welcome to Subramani. Please subscribe, please hit the bell icon. Today I'm going to talk to you about why should you revisit your will. You don't have to check your portfolio every day. You can check your portfolio once in a year or maybe once in 6 months. But your will, there are some reasons why you should revisit your will. You made your will, it is nicely written, it is notarized, and it is kept in a way, in a place where your children know where to access it, right? You have done all that, but why should you revisit your will? First, you are at a different point in life. You made this will 5 years ago, and after that date, some things have changed. So you want to revisit. That could be a reason for you to revisit your will. You are now maybe contemplating divorce. Contemplating divorce is the time to change your will, not when you get your divorce. In this country, it can take 20 years to get a divorce, and you may be dead by then. So it doesn't really matter. You don't want you don't want her in your life, you're staying separately, right? So make the will. The day you think you are going for a divorce, make your will, because you want to cut her out. Make sure that you make changes in the designations of your nominee, in your life insurance policy, in your mutual funds, in your banks, etc., etc. Do this before the divorce comes through. The divorce may not come through for a long time, right? So whether you're what happens if there are some new, the second reason is to, you may want to have some new beneficiaries added. Your son has got a child, your daughter has got a child, so some of those things can happen. I know one case where a person at the age of 55 decided to adopt a daughter. He had two sons who are now reasonably well off, and he went and then adopted a daughter. So that's a good reason to redraft a will. So he wanted to redraft a will. We spoke about it. Then I said, don't redraft the will. This girl is too young. But call your sons and tell them that you're going to give them so much money, but they have to look after her, right? Put the stress of looking after her financially and physically, and both the sons have promised that they will look after her like their own child, right? So that's the guts with which the father adopted this girl. So that could be another reason why you should make that change, why you should make a change in your will, right? You're in a what happens when your son is getting married and you want to give him a gift, you want to give him a house costing about say 6 crores. Should you give it to your son? It's not a bad idea, but then what happens if she turns out to be a shrew and wants to take away half of it within 2 years of marriage? Legally in India, that's her right. She gets half the assets and things like that. You will have to dispute it tremendously. So this could come through a trust. So if the property values are large, if you're going to give away 20 crores to your son and you don't want your son to lose that money to a bad divorce, time to make a change in your will, put it in a trust and make sure that a trust handles it, so that in case of a divorce she can't ask for money. Make sure that you do that. If your child is a son, if it's a daughter, don't bother. The law in this country protects her, so don't worry too much. There are of course problems that today families have, children staying abroad, getting married to non-Indians, right? So then you may have to consult a lawyer. Sorry, excuse me. Then there are some beneficiaries about whom you are concerned. What happens if you have a grandson who has got some drug abuse problems? Do you want to leave money for him, or do you want to leave money for him in a trust which will look after him? Right? So if you hear about drug abuse and things like that in your house, it's sad, but you may have to make some changes in your will. Maybe your children just lack ambition, that's okay. But skills about money management, if you're not sure that your children can manage the money on their own, a trust again makes sense. If you put money in a trust, you can force the trustee to enroll the children, enroll this problem kid in a treatment program, make sure that they hold hands while graduating. Maybe he cannot hold on to a steady job, so maybe at 30, 35 the trust starts paying out more. All this can be built into your will and your estate plan. Your attorney has died, or you have changed your attorney or your lawyer, right? We call them attorney in US, we call them in lawyers in India. If that person has changed and the copy of the will is there, then you might as well, you may want to revisit and make a new will. You have appointed somebody to look after you during your old age, you want to give some money to them, that's fine. Again, the person, maybe you appointed somebody as your healthcare proxy, but that person is not well, that person is dead. In such cases, you will have to be worried about what to do. So you will have to revisit your will. You want your heirs to be able to access without much of a delay. In India, non-financial assets can move very quickly, like a jiffy. All you have to do is make sure that the designations are right. You want to give, say, HDFC mutual fund to your son, give HDFC mutual fund to your son, give ICICI to your daughter, right? Do it that way. Don't give half of this and half of that and make a mess, right? So don't do that. So this could, again, you've invested a lot more now, so you may have to make a new codicil, or you may have to make a new will, right? Sometimes it may be necessary that you have to provide for debt payment and fees for some work done for professionals, right? So all that may have to be provided in your will. So if you have not provided, maybe it's time that you made a provision. What happens if your executor is bad? So either appoint a professional executor or appoint somebody from the family whom you can trust. Make sure that in India, I'm expecting some changes in the estate planning. We can be sure that very soon we will see some kind of death taxes, which is estate duty being established or something like that, right? So be careful that taxation, take care of taxation too. When something like this happens, immediately revisit and remake your will. A will is a great start to your estate plan, but you have to still make other documents which are like what to do with all your assets, etc. Don't put it in the main will. Getting yourself a power of attorney, creating a power of attorney for your children, making sure that the executor and the children know each other, right? All these things. So these are enough reasons for you to revisit your will, make it again, and make sure that everybody involved knows about the changes that you're making. Thank you.